But yeah, the Subculture England band, which well, hold on, dot. Feel me?
I think I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Subculture, damn, they be doing them greasy, not letting y'all do y'all thing, but you know, feds gonna be the feds. We'll soon give you announcements too. Speaking of denim on stream, so you know what I'm saying, get in tune while you can. Cause no, I'm not gonna say that. We're gonna get this video.
By Squarespace.
The police say we're not trying to kill music. This is just common sense. They're trying to stop murder.
From the decaying ashes of the chav, in the early to mid 2010s, a brand new subculture was emerging. One that was much more violent, much more organised, and much more controversial.
Cut that out.
The Roadman. Tensions between the UK authorities and the Roadman grew and grew and grew, eventually leading to laws being passed banning the music they held sacred, UK drill. Today, we will explore the Roadman subculture. All black North Faces, puffer jackets, shotter bags, Nike Air Max 97s, and they're extremely complex and widely enjoyed slang.
You know what, anytime I see you, I'm gonna lick off your face. Don't think they actually mean lick off your, no.
Roadman culture is very interesting. It's become massively influential on the wider mainstream culture, even outside of the UK. But before Drake started dressing in Stone Island, the Roadman's origins came from the old dying subculture of the chav. Now, I made a whole video about that. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it below. But effectively, the chavs were like the underclass of British society. They were known for being troublemakers, very antisocial, very criminal. But by the end of the 2010s, the chav era really came to an end. But fear not, quietly in the underground in the 2000s culture, a brand new subculture was emerging, and it all starts with music. Grime was a genre of music in the UK that evolved from the electronic genre of garage. Yeah, it was pretty similar, but instead of having Daniel Bedingfield emotionally singing how he's got to get through this, I gotta get through this, you had Wiley rapping about how he was gonna leng a man down.
He's the godfather of grime. For 2 decades, Wiley has been an influential figure in British culture.
Wiley is often credited as like the godfather of grime. What's interesting about Wiley at that time is that he had a very unique way of speaking, a different accent.
Before you can hear me, but I'm speaking in a London accent.
As London's ethnic demographic changed over the last 20 to 30 years, a very specific way of speaking and accent started to pop up around about the 80s and 90s, which now some people refer to as the multicultural London English accent.
He thought he was on a girly commercial thing and man was on a hardcore grime road thing. His thing weren't fitting man's thing.
It's basically a mix of like traditional Cockney geezer accent.
I don't remember nothing. I was obviously smashed out me tree.
Combined with elements of Jamaican patois. This combination would go on to develop the very iconic...
Nah, that's crazy how he really just put that together perfectly.
Nah, that's crazy.
Yo. Damn, that's beast. Because it's like, I was like, damn, what do you really call like how London niggas speak? Cause it's different from like
it's not like full pure English.
Nah, I'm saying like from like Birmingham niggas and Manchester niggas, Liverpool, all of that. Like, cause I'm just like, I bet they got their accents, but like, what would you even call it? So I mean, it's like, I bet
the base language.
Yeah, I think it's a multicultural London English. That's what you mean?
Multicultural London English. Yeah.
I don't know if that's fully what it is. You feel me?
But Roadman dialect that we hear today.
It's definitely the Jamaican patois there.
One more dose, man's gonna kick you out there like a soccer ball.
But you see, on top of just speaking different, there was also a far more edgier attitude that came with what we would now call the Roadman. An attitude that was more aggressive, more in your face, more bravado. And you can really hear this in the lyrics of Grime. Often rapping about money, cars, girls, partying. These young men who existed in very poor conditions were trying to find ways of gaining respect in their community. Respect that was often withheld from the wider British public. And so, pretty understandably, they weren't very happy about that. And you could hear that in the lyrics of Grime.
These bullets will make man run for their lives.
By the mid to early 2000s, we were getting closer and closer to what we could call
that was
road,
crazy,
but something was missing, and that was
fashion.
the fashion.
The jewels,
I think this was most evident in the music video for
was
Game
gigs?
Over by
Don't do
Tinchy
gigs
Stryder.
like that.
The track starts with gigs and we see him
Don't
wearing
do
this
that.
outfit
Don't
that
do
sort
that,
of looks
bro.
like he didn't know what he was dressing
Don't
for.
do
Like
that.
he could have been going out for a pint with his mates, attending a baseball game, or going on a dinner date. And then we jump over to Devlin, who's dressed as if he's just come from beating up away fans at a football match. And then finally,
I can't do this, bro. I can't do this. I can't see a damn fucking
It's in my eyes. Oh, out that John.
damn fucking.
Close the shit while you're over there too.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. HD.
Damn, now I gotta reveal it to them. Fuck you niggas.
Yeah. It could get like that.
Bag real nasty. Damn, let me put my shit back up. Slime him
you got
out.
Tinchy Stryder, who has so much jewelry on him, it looks like he ran out of money for the rest of his outfit. And so, as you can see, the fashion was lacking. But now it was the early 2010s and grime had actually reached a very low point. After its massive success, the sound became very commercialized and tried being sold to a mainstream audience. It started to sound very inauthentic and grime just lost its popularity and it really died down. But that would all change in 2014 with the second coming of grime. Meridian Dan dropped the tune German Whip.
Man driving a German whip.
Now every single lad outside of a McDonald's was playing this tune at full blast. Skepta released 2 tunes in particular that started doing really well, which is That's Not Me.
No, that's not me.
And Shut Down.
That's not me and it shut down.
Whereby in both tunes he was very specifically talking about fashion and why he changed how he dressed. Because of copyright, I'm gonna have to perform the tunes for
Yo,
him. Yeah, I
he's a
used to wear
legend.
Gucci, but I put it all in the bin. Because that's not me. True, I used to look like you, but dressing like a mess? Nah, that's not me. And then you got the other tune, Fashion Week, and it shut down. Went to the show sitting in the front row in a black tracksuit and it shut down. This sportswear roadman aesthetic was being popularized by Skepta. So much so that in 2015, Skepta did a fashion model walk in Milan, dressed head to toe as a roadman. As well, Stormzy was becoming a massive artist and he would often dress like a roadman. And then something insane happened. Before we go any further with this video, I want to give a massive shout out to
was the first one?
Sponsor.
Oh,
Squarespace
10, 11.
is the #1 platform for building and developing your own.
Yo, stop talking like that.
Tons of
You think
using it
there's
on
an
so being
outfit
off your
out
first.
here, like, because you know they call these niggas. Like,
Yes, 100%.
out here, there's a driller fit.
Now?
Yeah.
Yes.
New York.
Yes.
It is what?
Full black tag.
Damn. That's like.
What you got on right now?
It'd probably just be like on something like, nah, yeah. But these, nah, but New York niggas is different.
No.
These
I'm not gonna
niggas
lie.
is-
I'm gonna tell you right now. The New York drill fit. I'm gonna keep it a whole 1,000 right now. Not the tech. The New York drill fit is jeans, a big ass jacket,
yeah, big ass cleats,
and some Jordans. That's the drill fit.
These niggas are spitting fashion, bro.
Yeah.
That's the whack part. It's like, damn, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And they be like, yeah, so I'm in the same jacket on this music video. Caught that nigga. I'm like, nah. Gotta stop saying you should be not
Domain. Use the code Jimmy the Giant. Anyway, back to the video.
I saw this guy and he had his hoodie on and his glasses and I couldn't believe the pockets that he was finding and the consistency of his flows and just the choices that he was making.
Drake, for whatever reason, just
like I said,
absolutely
the
fell in love with the
pockets.
UK.
Nah,
He
I
would
mean, I
come
get
out
what he's trying to say.
unannounced
Nah,
at
yeah.
underground grime events.
The way he
Describes it.
He would collaborate with grime musicians,
want
and there was
some
endless
scum.
jokes and memes about how Drake turns into a roadman every time he goes to England.
Man's never been
Nah,
a
that's a
marquee
fact.
with a shut down, eh? Trust me, daddy.
But you see, as funny as this,
Hey yo, hey yo.
You never heard him say that before?
Nah, not that. I never seen that video. I heard him talk like that, but that's on some Canadian shit. Like they kind of talk like that a little bit too.
Yo, that shit, bro. I forgot who, but he kept saying that shit. And I'm
You
just
calling
like,
niggas daddy?
nah, he kept saying, trust me, that because I first heard this because I'm
some
like,
memes
nah,
about
what?
how Drake turns into a roadman every time he goes to England.
Man's never been a marquee with a shut down, eh? Trust me, daddy.
But you see, as funny as this was, it was very
Yo.
beneficial to the UK
I think it's
music
referring to
scene
something,
and the roadman culture. But you see, this is where things start to get dark.
I ching a man down.
Around 2013, a new genre of music was emerging from Brixton in London, with 2 gangs
So them
called
6'7"
150
niggas
and
popped out
6'7".
at
They were
150.
from a very rough area
Yeah,
and
we know,
very
we know.
involved in the gang world. This genre
Brixton.
was called UK drill. Now look, grime was also very gang heavy, talking about selling drugs, violence, etc. But drill took it to another level. From the dark, evil sounding instrumentals to the lyrics talking about specific gang murders, showing weapons on camera, and basically showing off this lifestyle. Now, the two groups, 150 and 67,
played his
had beef.
instrumental
This
like
would be
his-
considered the first ever UK drill beef. But things would start to change on February 24th, 2015. Now,
it was a little bit different. You know, UK drill, which is drilling period, had to do with, you know, like what I'm saying I'm about to go do, or it happened, like, yeah, go get back. Like, Grime was probably definitely talking about violence, but it wasn't on something like, yeah, we just spent 4 blocks on that real time, and like,
nah,
we just
yeah.
made a song about it.
67 and 150 have been
And
sending
we
for each
spoke
other
it.
over music, but it would be on this day where a member of 150 called S.
I feel like
would be
Grime is
stabbed
kind of
to
like
death
how
by a
trap
member of
is here.
67. Around the same sort of
let's do
time,
it.
a member of
It's like
67 called
semi-drill.
Scribs was starting to
Yeah, there's
actually
that
blow
mad
up
beef
in the music
included too. Yeah,
industry.
drill
We
is
see
definitely-
Scribs was a naughty boy. He was involved in lots of criminal cases, and these cases resulted in him receiving a ASBO, an antisocial behaviour order, where in 2014 the police banned him from making and performing music. But you see, Scribs was a very inventive man. He was able to scuttle his way around the ban by changing his name to
What's an
LD
LD?
and wearing a face mask.
Imagine you, nigga really did that.
In 2014 to
Not even imagine,
2017, UK drill was really blowing up. It had very much developed its own sound separate to the Chicago drill scene, and it was finding success in the mainstream world of music. You couldn't escape it. Every single roadman driving around a Vauxhall Corsa selling weed would be blaring out drill beats. And so this was the final piece of the puzzle for the roadman culture to truly take over. It seemed as though everyone loved drill, except for the police. The police were starting to link drill to escalating gang violence that was happening in the streets. These violent stabbings and shootings would happen after drill rappers would send for each other over tracks. One guy would kill one person and then talk about it in a track, and then another person would send a track back and then go and kill him. And it started to get out of hand, to the point where the
Basically what I
police
just
took
explained.
very extreme measures.
Today, a judge banned 5 young drill artists from performing or uploading
Look at them now.
songs that incite violence.
5 rappers from the group 1011 were banned from making music altogether.
The ruling is significant, thought to be the first time a modern-day ASBO has been used to censor art.
What they were specifically being banned from doing was mentioning in their lyrics death or injury, and from mentioning named postcodes in like a gang-related context. If any of these members wanted to make a new song, they had to run it by the police 24 hours before releasing it. As well, they had to give 48 hours of notice to the police of the date and location of any performance or any filming of a music video, and have police on site at the time.
Firstly, apologies to all the fans out in Germany right now. Obviously, can't make it there. Fed summoned me and Skingdo to court.
As well, 2 other drill rappers called Skengdo and AM had actually received a 2-year suspended sentence for performing the banned song Attempted 1.0. Now, you may be wondering what led the police to take these extreme actions. Around 2017, there had been a massive wave of knife crime. It'd been the highest it had been in a very long time, and a 22% rise. This sparked a debate whether drill had anything to do with this rise in knife crime, because it did seem a little coincidental that the height of drill being a genre that talked about stabbing and murdering just so happened to be at the exact same time of this massive knife problem. The OG drill group 6-7, who was starting to do really well in the mainstream world, effectively had their entire first ever tour cancelled, and this was because the venues were scared of hosting them due to a separate legal precedent which was called Form 696. Form 696 was created in 2005, and it required venues like nightclubs to hand over details to the authorities around who was performing at an event, what genre of music they produced, the target audience of that music, and their ethnicity. As you can imagine, this received quite
What in the races? Whoa.
target audience of that music and their ethnicity.
Oh, besides that, I guess the target audience.
Nah, the last one was crazy. I don't even know why it matters, but damn. Okay. I guess.
Niggas know, we know. We fucking know right there.
So, oh yeah?
As you can imagine, this received quite a bit of criticism. It was seen as discriminating against rap, grime, and other underground black-led genres. In 2010, Giggs had a show cancelled under Form 696. JME also had a show cancelled, which led to him making a whole documentary on this controversy.
But I'm starting to get concerned that what we do is slowly being strangled by London's police. and in particular a form I keep hearing about called the 696. I was booked to play at Just Jam at the Barbican with Big Nasty in February, but following police advice, it was cancelled the day before without a valid reason.
There is a clear link between these drill videos, as they're called, and very serious violence.
Even though they
JME
sound
made drill
sinister,
music though?
They're really saying, come to my neighborhood, see what's going on.
The police say we're not trying to kill music, this is just common sense, they're trying to stop murder.
When we're trying to go to other venues now, it makes it hard. When you go to venues and they turn around and say no just because the police have kind of threatened them with revoking their license. It's a piss take, isn't it?
Jump forward now 10 years to drill, and Form 696 as well as these ASBOs were being used to suppress this music. But you see, the ban had the opposite reaction to what was intended. This controversy around drill only made drill cooler. It was now countercultural, it was rebellious. It was this authentic street culture.
A lot of these young people are disenfranchised and they are rapping about what they see, not necessarily what they are going to do. So it's too simplistic to say that because of this genre of music, there is a rise in knife and gang crime.
And so this debate grew and grew around free speech. The question being something around what is the definition of inciting violence? Does free speech protect that? If I jumped on a UK drill beat and said, I'm gonna stab Bob outside of McDonald's at 10 PM on Friday, I release that song and then go and do that thing, can the police use those lyrics as evidence in court? And furthermore, and much more controversially, can the police stop me from putting those lyrics out there because it might lead to real life violence? This became a big deal and people did research into it from the University of London, where they argued that the authorities' attempts to suppress speech were misguided and actually led to more harm.
Even though their narratives are causing chaos in those communities, what they're talking about is a reality that society don't want to deal with. And for me, this is where we need to shift the discussion to. Not just blaming and banning and censoring young people, but why really are you carrying knives? Why really are you carrying guns?
To me, banning drill completely misses the point. All it does is target a symptom of a much deeper problem. These are usually young men who grow up in these communities surrounded by violence, poverty, and come from broken homes. Often the only masculine role.
I was about to say, like, when you ban that shit, it kind of takes away they, like, you know, it's not the only opportunity, but
like it's a big one, nigga. If you don't play fucking soccer,
especially if you got talent, you really got motion in that. Like, come on, bro. And then million view rapper and you banning his music, nigga. What, you stopping my breach, bro? Like, you want me back in the trenches doing what I was actually, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
like,
yeah, it's
what's
like
going on?
If you didn't ban me, nigga, I would make bread off this shit, nigga, and I wouldn't be doing this shit.
Are people who are in gangs, like older dudes, who people fear and respect.
Even though niggas still,
and
you
so
know,
see that as the only route for
go
them
back
to
to the hood,
receive
even though
respect in
niggas
this
got
world
breached.
too. What's really ironic is many
I know
of
they
the
ain't play
rappers
Skepta
who
like
make
that.
it out of this lifestyle and are successful often grow up into wanting to be these powerful, positive role models for these younger dudes. They want to show that it is possible to live a different life and get out of that. I mean, for example, Stormzy, he's always talking about his faith in God and his attitude to rising out of the world he came from. And like, sure, drill and roadman culture definitely did glamorize violence. It probably did make things worse, but it isn't the problem itself, it's just a symptom of the problem. You have to assess what drives these men into these lifestyles and fix those problems, and not just simply ban their self-expression.
When we was younger, before this music, there wasn't really a vision to like see anything outside of here. But now I'm sure like a lot of more people have hope, a lot more examples of people that have made
I'm pretty sure if it's not fucking
away from this
football.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like
Nah,
and
it's
subscribe to
gangsta.
the channel
Or
and
rap.
watch this video
I'm
right
trying
here.
to say it's like it's the same over here. Basketball or rapping. Most hood niggas is just they pursue those two things right there. Or I'm about to go play the block.
Nah, yeah, I'm saying you grow up as a young nigga, seeing young niggas on the block, and then when you get older, they still just older niggas on the block still. It's like, damn, this nigga been on this block his whole life.
I really be like that.